This is CNN, the most trusted name in news. Now back to the CNN Newsroom.
60 years ago tomorrow, President Harry Truman ordered the U.S. military desegregated. This morning, the story of one African-American soldier who rose through the ranks to become a general. Now retired Major General Jerry Curry has written a book about his ordeal and the continued struggle of blacks in the military. He's joining us this morning from Washington. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for being here, Major Curry.
Good morning. It's
Major
good to
General
be with you,
Curry.
Heidi.
Pardon me, don't want to take away all those 4 stars, sir.
Yes.
Listen, take us back, if you would, for just a moment to your career. You began as an enlisted man, and then you rose to the highest rank of a 4-star general.
Well, you promoted me. I really only rose to 2-star, but yeah, I did start back in those days. Truman integrated the Army in 1948. The war had started with Korea, of course, a little later than that. And then I ended up coming in as a private, enlisting as a private, and worked my way up to Major General before I retired and had some fascinating time. For example, I was at Fort Benning, Georgia, and I didn't know about segregation in the way they do it in the South. So I get off the bus and I arrive there, and here's this sign. It says, colored water fountain, white water fountain. So you had to have 2 separate lines, you know, to drink your water out of your fountain. And then I go off to officer candidate school. And I'm in school, and one of my classmates, white classmate, from, I think it was Tennessee, he says to me, he says, look, he said, my pappy told me that the reason you black folks ride on the back of buses is because you are inferior. And so I thought about that one, and I said, you know, I could take this guy out permanently. I said, but if I do that, they'll kick me out of officer candidate school.
Absolutely.
And so what I did was nothing. I just walked away. I let it go. I didn't say a word to anybody. But 2 weeks later, I was standing on the same sidewalk when the bus pulled off, and my little classmate was on the bus waving goodbye at his other classmates, and I waved goodbye. And he had gotten kicked out of school for academic deficiency.
Well,
and
see, there you go.
And
He
I
got
said
his.
how sweet it is.
Yes, and you know what? We are looking at some great pictures right now of you back in service.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not quite sure if you can see, because
yes, I can.
We are not. Tell us about this. What are we seeing?
This is in Vietnam. I was the commanding officer for an airplane reconnaissance company called the 220th Aviation. There are some of the airplanes we flew in combat right behind us. And I was decorating my soldiers for a very heroic action that we had participated in. And you're looking right now, this is the flight line back. See all those planes and all the tails? And all my little companies are all lined up. This was a great time, let me tell you.
Well, I can hear it in your voice, certainly. When you look back at video like this and of your pictures in service, what do you think today?
I just wonder how great America is. We have come so far. In this period. You know, when I came on active duty, we had all black units, except in Korea in the war. They were integrated. But in Germany, where I was, we had all black units and all white units. And now we're at the point where integration is just normal. Nobody thinks anything of it. When I came on active duty, there wasn't a single black general in the United States Army. In fact, the history of the country, it only had 1. And now today, we've got at least a dozen of them. I think we've made great progress. Not as far as some of us would like to go, but we've had a great time in this country, and we've got a lovely, lovely, wonderful group of people in this country.
In fact, you know what? I want to talk about those numbers real quickly because we have a little statistic to put up for people to see. African Americans and the U.S. Armed Forces in general, so not just the Army here, but 17% of the total force, 9% of all officers, less than 6% of generals with 1 to 4 stars. You just said it. You know, we could do better here. What would you say to some of the people who are making these selections, making these promotions about the promoting of African-American officers?
In the Army, we've done rather good. Air Force, Navy, as you know, have not done well at all in terms of the percentages of black folks, especially those in leadership and the generals. If the Army really wants to improve the number of generals, it's very simple. You just simply turn to the Secretary of the Army and you say, listen, we want to get this number up. And the way you do that is you take promising officers. That is, everybody can't be a general. But those who have the ability, you identify them early, rank of captain, major, and then you tailor their assignments. You put them in assignments where they have increasing levels of responsibility, and as time goes on, they will get to the point where they can become generals. And it's the assignments that lead you up, plus the performance in the assignment.
And you know what I like about you is that to you and everything that we've written or read in the notes that you've given us here is it's about hard work. And I know you learned that from your parents. It's about the hard work, and you said then life will reward you.
Oh, absolutely. Mom and Dad were very forthright with me. They said, life is unfair. You're not going to get a fair treatment in the United States. You're black. Most of America is white. But you've got to understand something. They said, you got to play the cards that you are dealt. Whatever they are, you got to play them. And if you play them right, if you work hard, if you do good, if you're successful, the America will reward you. You will be promoted. And you work your way up, do the best you can, and in the end, hopefully you've made the top.
Well, we sure do appreciate your time here today. Thank you so much. And you know what? We'll give you the 2 extra stars. I'm sure they wouldn't mind a DOD, right?
I think that's great.
Thank you so much. General Jerry Curry, again, appreciate the pictures as well. We didn't even have a chance to say that you served in the Carter administration, Reagan administration. Just a fascinating story, and the book as well. Appreciate it once again. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And also a quick reminder, CNN presents an encore presentation this weekend of Black in America. You can see for yourself what everyone's talking about tomorrow night at 8 and 11 Eastern.
Oh boy, that was terrific. That was
great, man.
That was terrific. A city takes a big lender to cord